Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellency, High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy and Vice President of European Commission, Excellency Kaja Kalas, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. It is indeed my great pleasure to welcome the European Union's High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy and the Vice President of the European Commission, Madam Kaja Kalas, on her first ever visit to Islamabad. The last EU HRVP visit took place in 2019, and since then we had virtually for 7 years no visit. So EU Vice President Kaja Kalas' visit to Islamabad signifies the growing momentum in Pakistan-EU partnership. The HRVP has remained my frequent interlocutor. Our candid exchanges are reflective of the candor and trust between Pakistan and EU. We have been constantly in touch during last year of India-Pakistan war, and so are we in touch during the regional conflict between US and Iran. We believe that EU as an institution embodies the universal ideals of peace, diplomacy, democracy, and commitment to human rights. We remain committed to constructive engagement with EU and its member states. Today, Her Excellency and I co-chaired the 8th session of the Pakistan-EU Strategic Dialogue. This is the highest institutionalized dialogue between Pakistan and the EU. May I also point out that we had last 7th review in November in Brussels, and perhaps the gap between two dialogues is probably in our history the minimum between any two states. We reviewed the progress on cooperation under the various sectors of the Pakistan-EU Strategic Engagement Plan 2019, including trade, investment and development, human rights and rule of law, migration and mobility, and finally, security and counter-terrorism. The EU is amongst Pakistan's major trade partners with a trade volume of around 12 billion euros. Pakistan-EU trade cooperation under GSP Plus framework is a win-win template. Our discussions today are focused on further enhancing bilateral trade and investment ties between EU and Pakistan. In this regard, both sides assessed the first ever Pakistan-EU Business Forum held in Islamabad in April this year as a welcome development. We look forward to making the forum a regular feature in our bilateral cooperation. We also held an in-depth exchange of views on regional and global issues, including the US-Iran conflict, security situation in South Asia, Afghanistan, Europe, and the Middle East. I thanked Her Excellency for EU's appreciation and supportive role for Pakistan's mediation efforts in the US-Iran conflict. We are humbled by the recognition of our efforts and will continue to work towards finding a comprehensive and lasting solution to the conflict. I also apprised Her Excellency of our concerns regarding unprovoked Indian aggression and Pakistan's principal position on the Jammu and Kashmir dispute, advocating for its resolution according to the wishes of the Kashmiri people in line with UN Security Council resolutions. Further, I shared that the Pakistan position on the Indus Water Treaty stands vindicated after the Court of Arbitration's supplemented award in the Indus Water Treaty proceedings arising from the Retal hydroelectric plant and the Kishan Ganga hydroelectric project design disputes. The award affirms Pakistan's central position that the treaty places substantive limits on India's water control capability on the western rivers. We have also discussed security issues and terrorism, including the presence of Fitna Khawarij and Fitna Hindustan elements on Afghan soil. Their continued attacks against Pakistan remain our top concern. I emphasized the need for strengthening multilateralism and consistent adherence to the fundamental principles of the UN Charter and to address the existing and emerging international challenges in an effective and credible manner. Her Excellency, Kaja class visit is a significant milestone in Pakistan-EU bilateral relations, and today we reaffirm our resolve to transform these relations into a comprehensive and mutually beneficial partnership. Her Excellency, let me reiterate that it is my great pleasure to welcome you here in Pakistan, and hope this is not going to be the first and the last visit, but it would be one of the many visits you will make to Pakistan. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, dear Deputy Prime Minister Dar, dear Ishaq. I'm really glad to be here in Islamabad today. Even if it is for a brief visit, it comes at an important moment. Since we last met in November, the world and this region have experienced profound changes. Pakistan is a major regional power and an important partner for the European Union. Today, in our strategic dialogue, we reaffirmed our shared commitment to strengthening EU-Pakistan ties even further. On trade in particular, there is already a strong momentum. The European Union remains by far Pakistan's largest export destination. It's actually larger than China and US combined. And Pakistan is the world's leading beneficiary of European Union trade preferences, the GSP+. But GSP Plus has clear conditions. Continued preferential access to the EU market depends on progress in implementing the international conventions underpinning the scheme. This includes good governance, environmental protection, and particularly labor and human rights. We look to Pakistan to demonstrate tangible progress on these issues. Beyond trade, we are deepening cooperation on a wide range of issues, including climate resilience, digital infrastructure, clean energy, migration, and mobility. People-to-people links are also an important part of our partnership. I'm also impressed that Pakistan tops the EU's global Erasmus Mundus scholarship rankings again, the 5th year in a row. The Deputy Prime Minister and I today exchanged views on pressing global developments, including in the Middle East. Pakistan has been the main mediator between the United States and Iran. Your diplomatic efforts have helped to prevent a return to full-blown war on several occasions. And these efforts are much recognized and appreciated across Europe. With your support, there is now a tenuous diplomatic opening to extend the ceasefire and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Yet any temporary understanding between US and Iran must be followed by deeper talks about Tehran's nuclear stockpile and other critical issues. Lasting stability will require more encompassing solutions. The European Union is ready to contribute to a sustainable and peaceful solution. We bring economic leverage, hard-won nuclear expertise, long-standing relationships with partners across the Gulf, and direct engagement with Iran itself. I see a concrete role for the EU in helping to make any eventual agreement durable, whether through maritime operations, economic incentives that support long-term stability, or other issues. Here in the region, Pakistan has been locked in a conflict with Afghanistan. The fighting in recent weeks have had grave humanitarian consequences and also risks fueling further instability and radicalization. And this is why we have constantly called on both sides to exercise restraint and de-escalation. Pakistan has the right to defend itself and its people in line with the international law. We also discussed many other important topics, but I will leave it here. So thank you again, dear Deputy Prime Minister, dear Ishaq, for welcoming us here today, and I'm looking forward to continuing closer cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.